Welcome back, and thank you for listening to my crazy Wayground experiments. I'm Madame Sensei. I teach Spanish, French, Japanese, English language arts, and over the summer I teach health. And if you want to help me with these weird experiments that I do in Wayground, come meet me at the Wayground Game Changers. I also use Minecraft education, so meet me at the Minecraft Teachers Lounge, the Minecraft Education Ambassadors. I use RockSem, which is a music language learning program. Meet me there. Meet me at the Teacher Excellence Lounge, the World Language Teacher Lounge, the Duolingo Educators Network, or the Practical and Comprehensible Facebook group. Oh, also at studio-nemo.com, of course. So, I'm a very busy woman, and I guess I love school so much that I can never leave. So, over the summer, I teach WANIC Summer Health. All right, it's a health class, and it's a blitz. It is a whirlwind. It's 13 days of 7-hour days for the students, but I find myself at school for 9 hours just setting up and then getting all the grades in and stuff. I forget what WANIC stands for. It's Washington State something. Okay, so my textbook is a dinosaur. It is 200 million years old, and it really should be extinct. It's so dry. It is just, I used to be able to teach out of it to an extent years ago, but just doesn't captivate the students, and it doesn't captivate me. You see, I covered parts of it just to try and keep the students more focused as I basically read aloud to them from the textbook, and it's so boring. So I've been doing summer health for, I think this is my 9th year, and for the first 2 years, I would go down to a different city, okay? I'm in Washington State. All the cities are kind of close to each other and everything. And I would go to this centralized location where WANIC is located. And there are 5 other health teachers for the summer, and lots of students want to take health over the summer. There's several reasons. Okay, some are credit retrieval, but most are they go to a school that health isn't offered, which is crazy to me. Health is a state requirement, so you have to take health, and if your school doesn't offer it, you're going to have to go to summer school. And then the rest of the students are like, well, I want to take orchestra. I want to take art. I want to take band, and I need to, how am I going to fit that in if I have this state requirement? Oh, I can knock out the state requirement in a summer. So for 2 years, I would go down to the big school, which was more centralized to all the students who come from all, we have 9 different districts that we're pulling from. So I'd go there, but the problem is that, well, I'm one of 5, maybe 6 health teachers there, and the students are all talking to each other at lunch, and it was decided that we all have to be doing the exact same thing, or the students are going to feel bad to find out that, oh, my buddy Bob in this other class right down the hall is doing this thing, and my buddy Fred, the other end of the hallway, is doing this thing. So we all had to do the exact same thing. And, I love my colleagues. They're wonderful people. I can't teach out of a textbook. It drives me bonkers. That's just me personally, okay? I totally own it. I'm weird and eccentric. So on year 3, I said, you know what? I would love to teach summer health. I know you need health teachers, but I'm going to stay at my home school. And that's kind of weird because it's a ghost town in the summer. There have been some years where not only am I the only class in the building, I'm the only adult in the building. Maybe there's a custodian, but the administration is on vacation, and it's just me and my 30 students. So, but the beauty of it is I get to do whatever the heck I feel like. And you know that I'm a game-based teacher. I love my games. So after many years, this is kind of the schedule I've fallen into. And the students come in, we work on their sleep and exercise and food journal. And now I added cell phones this year because I want them to track their cell phone use. This is just for them to track how much did they sleep? Did they have a hard time getting to sleep? Did they wake up feeling refreshed? What did they do a half an hour before they went to sleep? How much exercise did you get? Did you get any exercise out of class? Did you just go home and plop down on the couch and pull out your cell phone? Then there's also the food. What did you eat? What did you eat for dinner? What did you eat for lunch? What did you eat for breakfast? Did you snack? And then, of course, cell phone usage. How many times were you pulling out your phone? And did you find that you had it in your hand more than you had intended? Because I want them to start thinking about how the apps are kind of, there's all sorts of psychology keeping them on their phones. And then we do a discussion question. I don't know why I can't line this up. We do a discussion question for the day's topic because every day is a different topic. I teach them stress relieving techniques. So we do mindfulness, we do meditation, and we do tons of stuff. And I have made that and put that in my metacognition playlist if you're interested in all my mindfulness techniques, because the students really, really love them. Then we do a vocab game because they need to know the vocabulary so that we can have discussions about stuff. So I teach them all the vocabulary and we play a game. And then I kind of try and blitz on, this is what you need to know. Normally we'd have a week. Every day of summer school is a week of actual school. So normally it would be spread out, but I just kind of like blitz on it so that we can play our games. I want to get to our games where they're really applying the skills. Okay, and then I give them a break. Then we have a vocabulary game. Again, a different vocabulary game, and then more mini lessons, and then we exercise because it's a health class. You better be outside getting exercise. And then we go on lunch, and then I did this wrong. After lunch, there's a vocab game and mini lessons, and then the break, and then we have a project in the afternoon. Okay, and then at the end of the day, we have a vocab quiz, and frankly, if I'm doing multiple choice or fill in the blank, Blue-Kit is superior. I always do the vocab quiz on Blue-Kit. So this year I decided, you know what, these mini lessons, the students' attention span is much less. I'm going to experiment with making my mini lessons in Wayground. And you can see I have 47 mini lessons that I've made. And, at some point the students, their eyes glaze out. They're trying to sneak their cell phones out. And I'm like, okay, guys, if you're not listening to me, you can listen to yourselves. All right. I have taken everything out of the textbook, taken screenshots out of the textbook. And I talked about that in a previous episode of this. I've taken all the information out of the textbook. I've added other stuff. Like here was the mental health fitness first aid course that I took, which was absolutely wonderful. And I'm making a Wayground out of that. And, you can do it in Wayground. You'll be manipulating stuff. There'll be the try-fail cycle. You'll have to think critically about it as opposed to me just spoon feeding you. And wow, I like that much better. Absolutely much better. The students nowadays are terrified of failure. They just will not let themselves try and fail. And so I thought that this was pretty good in getting them to be, hey, let me see if this works. Let me see if this works. So I gave them many choices as we experimented over the days. And they liked Mastery Peak a lot more than anything else. Okay, my silly memes in classic mode were fine, but they really wanted Mastery Peak because they were so afraid of failure. And they knew that in Mastery Peak, they had 100 million chances to get it right. And I did also have to make the rule of, guys, if I see you touch somebody else's computer, I'm deducting a point from you. Because a lot of times they were so afraid of failure, they were like, hey, Bob, what'd you get for this one? Here, do it for me. And they would try to hand their computer over to somebody else. And I'm like, that's not learning. So we had to do a lot of metacognition on that. And 13 days, I don't know if I got through to them, but I did get it so that they weren't trying to touch each other's computers after a while. I'm sorry, I'm about to go over 10 minutes. This will be really quick. Okay, I'm going to finish up quickly. I wasn't going to do the table groups. I do this for my language classes, and I even do it for my English language arts class. And I was like, oh, health doesn't need table groups. I don't have to think about it. But after, we were halfway through day one, and I was like, I need to make table groups. So I quickly grabbed cardstock and wrote the topics of each day on it. The main days that we have are avoiding addiction, which is, drinking, vaping, smoking, drugs. So that's 4 days, but I put it all into one table group. Cardiovascular, community, mental health, nutrition, relationships, and there were a couple, of course, I had to cut out, but I only have 6 table groups. But I'm like, okay, guys, choose a name of a table group. And then I started giving them points at various points throughout the day, and that competition helped get them really focused. And for Wayground, it was really great because after Mastery Peak, you get all these balloons coming up with the students and how they did. And what I was focusing on was the very first 2 balloons that come up are the top scorer and the fastest climber, because there's a lot of balloons that come up, so you can celebrate all your students. One of my table groups realized pretty quickly, they began running experiments, which was really cool to see, but they realized if they put numbers in front of their names, or if they put symbols in front of their names, if there was a tie, they would be ranked first. So they got everyone was super competitive, and nobody could figure out why they kept winning, even though, hey, I thought I had a better score. So that was pretty funny. I'm sorry, I'm going over 10 minutes. So anyway, I think this was a great success. I would much rather have the students using Wayground to learn all the information that the state says they have to learn, rather than me standing up in front of the class, sage on stage, spoon feeding them. All right, I'll wrap it up here. Thanks for listening. See you on the next one.